Hi, and welcome to this third video of ASCP test takers, where I try to give you tips and tricks on how to navigate the ASCP exams and try to find the right exam for you and how to apply and how to take the test. So today we're still looking at this ASCP website, trying to get a good deal of information out of it that you can use to your advantage when you're applying for this exam. And today we're going to look at routes of eligibility. So there are going to be US certification routes for you guys who are US trained or educated test takers. And then, of course, the international routes for all those that did not study in the US. I am still going to use medical lab scientist as an example, but these are pretty much the same. It cuts across pretty much all the certifications. So whatever I go through right now should not differ as much from what you'll be able to read if, for example, you're taking a technician certification or a specialist certification or technology certification, whatever you may be taking that may not be MLS, the difference will actually be minimal. So let's get into it. So for US certification, that's where we're at. We're gonna look at MLS right here and come down here and look at different routes of eligibility. As you can see, there are 6 routes of eligibility. And if we open up this one, route 1, what does route 1 mean? For route 1, you should have a bachelor's degree from a college or university in the United States, and you should have completed an NACLS accredited medical laboratory scientist program within the last 5 years. So after you have done your, for example, you may be a student who is at college right now and you're wondering how to get into work in the lab. Say you're a biology major, chemistry major, you're wondering how. So you're gonna have to finish your bachelor's degree and you're gonna have to go to a national accredited clinical laboratory science program and do your medical lab science degree or program, whatever they call it. And then if you have those two, then you're good. You qualify for route 1 to go on and apply for the exam. All right. Now let's go to route 2. So route 2, here's what you need. 1, for route 2, you have to be a medical laboratory technician who is trying to become a medical laboratory scientist. Okay, that's sort of what it looks for. So first of all, it wants to make sure you have a valid MLT ASCP certification. You should have sat for it at some point. 2, you have a bachelor's degree. Okay, so for you to move from MLT to MLS, the bachelor's degree is more like a master. Okay, so and within that bachelor's degree, you should have chemistry and organic or biochemistry. It should be somewhere within all your work around your program, the program that you did at university or at college. Now, once you have that, there's one more thing that you should have. You should have 2 years of full-time acceptable clinical experience in blood banking, chemistry, hematology, microbiology, immunology, urinalysis/body fluids in an acceptable lab within the last 5 years. So it's not just you finishing your MLT and walking over to try to get MLS. They need you to first go in the lab and practice a bit for a bit of time, and then you can apply. So if that's you, that's the kind of person you are, that's route 2 for you. That's what you would consider. Now let's go to route 3. All right. Now, bad news. As of January 1st, 2023, MLS Route 3, requiring valid CLA ASCP certification, has been discontinued. All right. They're no longer taking clinical lab assistants, I believe. Hold on. No. Um, so as of January 1st, 2023, MLS Route 3 requiring valid CLA ASCP certification has been discontinued. If that's you, um, you if that's you, look at the other routes of eligibility and see what works for you. Route 4, what do you need? You should have a bachelor's degree from an accredited university or college. That's part one. And this you should have chemistry, organic or biochemistry within that period. All right. So once you have that, you need to have 5 years of full-time acceptable clinical experience working in blood bank, chemistry, hematology, microbiology, immunology, and urinalysis of body fluids, and acceptable laboratory within the last 10 years. All right. So what does this mean? Okay, people always get confused when they see Route 4 and Route 1. Basically, what these two mean is Route 1, go have your bachelor's degree and go into an MLS program, and then you're eligible. Route 4, you have a bachelor's degree, but you were not able to go and sit for your ASCP. All right. And you do not plan on going back to school and doing your MLS program. So what you need to do, you have to be able to work somewhere for 5 years in all these areas of the lab. And if you can show that, if you can bring it to them and show them that yes, this is what I did in the last 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, this is what I do, and this is what I did, then they are able to say, all right, you qualify through Route 4. Let's go to Route 5. Now, Route 5, you must have, again, valid MLS ASCPI certification. Now, this is when our friends, the international certificants, are trying to move from ASCPI to ASCP. All right. So, of course, you should have your valid MLS ASCPI. That's one. Two, you should have a transcript evaluation verifying equivalency to a US bachelor's degree from a regionally accredited lab. From a regionally accredited college. So you must have that. And now you should also have worked in a lab for 5 years. All right. And for Route 5, take note, you do not have to take the exam. You're not supposed to take the exam because you already have your certification through MLS ASCPI. All right. And here's the thing: if when you were applying for your MLS ASCPI for my international friends, and you submitted a course by course transcript evaluation, then you do not even have to resubmit it unless specifically requested by the BOC office. All right. And now, note that if you transfer your certification from MLS ASPI to MLS ASCP, then you don't have an option to revert back to the international notation. All right. So please note that. And I also want to inform you that if you are an international certificate and you have your ASCPI, you're still eligible to work in the United States as long as you have your, your valid employment authorization. You don't need to first become MLS ASCP for you to be able to work. You don't have that. You can work on your international certification. Now let's go to Route 6. Here, one, you have to have had a successful completion of a 50-week US military medical laboratory training course within the last 10 years. Two, a bachelor's degree from a accredited university, all right, with some semesters in biology and microbiology and chemistry and all that, all right. And then finally, you should have 1 year of full-time acceptable clinical experience in blood banking, chemistry, hematology, microbiology, immunology, and urinalysis of body fluids in an acceptable lab within the last 10 years. So that is route 6. Somebody, please connect them so they can use route 6. Now, if we to move on to the international certifications, you're gonna see that the difference is not big. We'll go to MLS and route 1, bachelor's degree from an accredited education institution in medical laboratory science and completion of a lab science training program. The training program must include blood banking, chemistry, hematology, and microbiology. All right. So be sure to check in your country and make sure your degree or diploma is in medical laboratory science, clinical laboratory science, biomedical laboratory science, medical technology. So just make sure that it's one of those names. If your program is within those confines, then you qualify through route 1. Now let's look at route 2 real quick. Here it should have a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution and 3 years of acceptable clinical experience in an approved lab. And that experience must be in blood banking, chemistry, hematology, and microbiology. And there is some information here that you can read about route 2. Now we're gonna go to route 3. You must have a bachelor's degree from an accredited educational institution and a successful completion of 2 years of medical lab science program. All right. The training must include blood banking, immunology, chemistry, and microbiology. Okay. Let's go to route number 4. Bachelor's degree from an accredited education institution and 5 years of acceptable clinical experience in an approved laboratory. All right. And finally, let's go to route 5 and you see a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution and 2-year diploma from an accredited approved education institution in biological science and chemistry. Away from let's see. Yes, and you need 5 years of acceptable clinical experience. You need 2 years diploma, and you need a bachelor's degree for you to be considered for that route number 5. So that's pretty much it. That's all the information regarding routes on the US certification site and the international site. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe because more and more videos like this are coming to your screen anytime. Thank you and have a wonderful time. Bye.